Welcome back to the channel. This is the 10 best foods you need to try in Paris. This is by a YouTuber by the name of Lucille, and the original link will be in the description. I definitely let it show love. If you want your video reacted to, definitely let me know, and I will not mind showing love. Yeah, I'm excited. Let's see what the best foods and there is to eat in Paris by someone who's in Paris and from Paris theirself. So with that being said, we're smoking all my dragons, divine, righteous, almighty, greats, overachieving, never slacking. Let's fly back over to Paris. Here we go.
I'm French, and these are the top 10 foods you absolutely need to try when you're in Paris. Starting with one of our favorites, which is a street food crepe. Crepes are very thin French pancakes, and you can find them at every street corner in France.
I think I ate that before. Seriously, I think I ate crepe before.
Made fresh to order and filled with a bunch of delicious things. First today we picked emmental cheese and ham, and Bobby had us add crispy onion, which is a bit of an unconventional topping, but really made him super happy. It's a market day today, so there's a lot of people in the street and a lot of different fresh foods to try, so I'm really excited, but first let's sit down and eat our crepe. Are you happy to eat a crepe on a beautiful Sunday morning?
Best way to spend a Sunday morning.
And we're getting food number 2 at Arnaud Nicolas. That's this guy's shop, and he got a national medal for being one of the best at what he does. And here everything looks delicious, but we are here for quiche Lorraine, which you absolutely need to try if you're coming to Paris. Since it's a beautiful sunny day out, let's take it to go and eat it at our favorite park, where the same ducks that you see in all my videos know what's up and are already waiting for us to drop our food. So quiche Lorraine is a savory tart with a thick filling of savory custard with cheese and bacon, and it is super yummy, and I think this duck agrees.
Full duck, but no food, sorry.
And I kind of have a love-hate relationship with our next food, which is croque monsieur, because it is so hard to find a good croque monsieur at a good price. I really refuse to pay 27 euros for street food. Anyways, the one I got at a little sandwich shop called Fric Frac really passes the test. It was only 9 euros and it looks really wonderful. So a croque monsieur is a hot sandwich made with ham, cheese, and a white sauce called béchamel, which makes everything taste super creamy. It's one of the typical cafe foods for when you want a quick bite. And if you don't
I swear they make that in New York. I swear they do.
want a quick bite, but instead an all-night long event, try food number 4, which is raclette. Raclette is a half wheel of cheese that's heated to make the cheese melt on potatoes and on different types of meats. For obvious reasons, I recommend eating that in winter or when you're really hungry. And if you like cheese, you will become addicted to it. But today we're not that hungry, so we're gonna try food number 5, which is actually a meal called an apéro. Apéro is a kind of meal that you have around maybe 6 to 7 p.m. right before dinner, where you have often some cheeses and a glass of wine. Cheers! Chin chin! So you can obviously find that at any bar in Paris, but if you're feeling like you want a chill night at home, and that's our case tonight, you can also go to the supermarket.
And yeah, there's so many different types of cheeses that you can choose from at the supermarket, which is super unique to France.
They just have so many different cheeses.
The cheeses just keep on going and going. There's literally 2 floors of cheeses that you can choose from.
And if you don't know what to choose, because it can feel a bit overwhelming if you don't know French cheeses, you're like, which ones are good? They actually also have cheese platters that are ready-made for you, and this is what we got tonight to show you that this is actually really good. So in here we have a fine selection of French cheeses. There's Saint-Marcelin, which is a cow cheese. We have Palais de Brebis, which is sheep, and then we have 2 different goat cheeses. This tiny one called Bûche, which is Bobby's favorite when you move to France.
It's the best.
And my own personal favorite called Rocamadour. This one has a special place in my heart because I grew up when I
Rocamadour?
was a kid until age 5 next to a farm of Rocamadour, so I really, really love it.
That's so cool. I wish I grew up next to a Rocamadour farm.
And then obviously at Monoprix, at the supermarket, you can find a ton of different wines that are pretty good from France and from other countries right in the supermarket. If you're like us, you want to stay in, but you want to have a good night, go ahead and do an at-home apéro with stuff from the supermarket. It's always a good idea. Also, one thing that I didn't say is all of these cheeses were only 6 euros, I believe.
Great price. Amazing price.
Yeah, so if you're in doubt, just get the ready-made cheese platters. They're pretty nice. We basically stayed here all night long talking and drinking, and it was just the perfect chill night in. And on the next day, I had really cool lunch plans while Bobby had to work all day, and I didn't want him to miss out on the good food, so I went and got him food number 6, which is a jambon beurre sandwich. This type of sandwich is the absolute Parisian sandwich. People usually eat it for a quick workday lunch, and it's so Parisian that the little sandwich shop I went to calls it Le Parisien, which means the Parisian, instead of its actual name. So this tiny sandwich shop is called BBT, and they are consistently named one of the best sandwich shops of Paris. It's 2 friends working together, and they only make 100 sandwiches a day, so I feel pretty lucky to have gotten one. So this sandwich is actually super simple and really delicious. We have a fresh baguette bread that has obviously been spreaded with salty butter, but what's really cool about this sandwich is actually the ham. It's jambon de Paris, which is the French Parisian cooked ham, and here they use the same one that's sold at La Tour d'Argent, which is a super fancy Michelin-starred restaurant that has apparently been around since the 16th century. So anyways, it looks like a really delicious sandwich, and it really took me a lot of self-control to not take a bite as I was coming back home. But I do have lunch plans, so let's see what Bobby has to say.
So delicious.
And before we go,
It looks super delicious. My teeth just can't handle like really crunchy stuff. Like I got sensitive teeth.
grab lunch at this very cool spot I've been telling you about all day, let me tell you about today's sponsor, Free Cash. Free Cash is an app that pays you to try other apps. For example, they have many different mobile games to try, with my favorite being Monopoly Go, although I always lose to Bobby, who is very good at it. How it works here is that you get specific rewards for reaching different levels in the game, and when you're ready to cash out, it's super easy. You just click here and select how you want to withdraw, and here you go. In average, it takes people 17 minutes to reach their first cash out on the app. When you sign up, you have access to the light mode with selected special offers, but after reaching level 20, you'll get access to all the offers on the website. So if you want to try it, go ahead and use my link and let's go get lunch. And for lunch, we're meeting
Hold on, I might have to download that right now. Hold up.
with Theo. Hi! He's taking us to a great spot for one of my favorite French foods that's a bit controversial. Theo has his own table. We are at he's a regular here. He comes here all the time. He knows the owner. I feel at home here. I feel like I'm at your place.
The quality of the meat is incredible, the staff is adorable, and even the meat that are not grilled, like the raw meat, like the tartare, is one of the best in Paris. So raw or cooked, they are doing the best.
So right now we are at Bien Élevé, which is a restaurant I've been wanting to try since forever. The place is super famous for its meats, and obviously being a regular, Theo just knows what to order. So we are gonna try the controversial food I was telling you about right after this, but we do have to start with the most iconic French meat dish. So dish number 7 is called steak frites, which means steak with fries. So here we have an absolutely beautiful piece of meat that's perfectly cooked, at least to French standards, rarer than what you'd expect. And you can eat your meat as it is, or even better, dip it in one of the sauces. And being at one of the best meat restaurants I've been to, obviously the meat is super tender and really tasty. And this delicious steak is served with a side of fries. And if you're a regular on the channel, you know that I'm a big fry fan. I've eaten a lot of good fries in my life, and I can tell you these ones are somewhere at the top of my list. What makes them super special is that they're cooked in beef fat. So they have a lot of flavor, and seriously, they were so good. Okay, so now it's time for what I'm personally here for, the steak tartare. Really important here, if you ordered a steak frite like what we ate before, don't think what we're about to eat is the same thing, because this is raw meat. So be really careful when you're ordering a steak tartare. It will not be cooked. It is raw meat. And don't be scared by the sight of raw meat and raw egg. The meat standards are really high in France. In this restaurant in particular, they work directly with the best farms around France. So I really recommend you try it.
It's my favorite because it's not just a regular tartare, like the meat is perfect as all the meats you can find in this restaurant, but they are also changing all the sides and the seasonings according to the season to give a twist to the tartare. It creates something beautiful.
So for example, here the ground beef is not only served with the classic seasonings of onions and chives, but it also has a side of fennel, ricotta, chestnuts, and arugula. Anyways, we had a really long lunch talking and eating, and it's now time for dessert. So I could make an entire video just about French pastries. There's so many to try, and you could just go into a pastry shop called a pâtisserie and just pick whatever looks good to you. And honestly, this is what we did here since we are at Michalak, which is a pretty famous pastry shop, so I don't think we can really go wrong here. So this first pastry is a flan, and it's just a beloved classic. This one is made with a vanilla cream and a little bit of rum for flavor.
It's a perfect blend with the vanilla and rum, and I really like it.
Our next pastry is called millefeuille, which roughly translates to 1,000 layers, and you'll find this one pretty much everywhere, but it's not often homemade like the one we have in front of us right now. So the 1,000 layers are basically flaky dough and pastry cream. And cutting into it, I totally destroyed the cake, but we're here for how it tastes and not how it looks, and it did taste really good. Our last pastry is my personal favorite. It's called tarte à la fraise, or just strawberry tart.
I ain't gonna lie, that looks delicious. That with them strawberries like that.
And I don't know, I just had it a lot when I was growing up, so it always reminds me of Sunday meals with my family. And I obviously couldn't make a video about French food without telling you about bakeries. So I decided to go to Tranché on my way home. It's a super cute neighborhood bakery in the Batignolles area. And here I picked up a few goodies to eat for goûter. Goûter is a French meal that you eat at 4 p.m. It's the equivalent of the 4 p.m. snacks for kids, but sometimes adults do it too, and I personally really love goûter. You usually eat similar things as you would eat for breakfast for goûter. So this is why I got a chocolatine, or pain au chocolat, which I know some of you will call chocolate croissant, and I'll let it slide this time. Here it's a really beautiful flaky dough pastry that's filled with chocolate. This is one of my favorite things to eat for goûter, and always a good classic. So the chocolatine will be my goûter, and the next one is for Bobby. And we also have their specialty, which is called chou à la crème, which basically translates to a cream puff.
But let's bring the choux pastry to Bobby. Show us what you got.
Wow, that looks amazing.
Have you ever had a chou à la crème before?
No, first time.
Cool. Go ahead and bite into it. You'll be surprised.
I love French.
Enjoy your goûter and enjoy working, and I'll see you soon again.
Bye.
Bobby hasn't moved off all left. And one thing I didn't get for a snack is a croissant. And if you're coming to Paris, you do need to try a croissant. I promise you it's gonna be so different from what you have back home. Seriously, get a croissant in France, otherwise you're missing out. And I made a full video about my favorite ones, so go check it out. I'll see you there.
I don't feel.
Honestly, I would want to try the steak and fries. And that strawberry dessert at the end looked fantastic. I'm not a fan, like I said, of like crunchy stuff, just because I have like sensitive teeth. But the foods definitely look delicious. Didn't look like stuff, you know, that I where usually when in America when I hear about French food, people will say it's like, you know, like disgusting, right? Too like they'll like insects. I don't know. People say weird stuff, right? A lot of rumors go around, but I didn't see nothing like that. I actually seen some stuff that looks very delicious that I would not mind trying. Like I said, that strawberry, even the cake they ate before that looked really good too. Like, she definitely did a great job with this video. I'm very happy I reacted to it. If you see this and you don't want your video up, just hit me up. I'll take it down. But if, like I said, if you somebody out there who does want your video reacted to, then I will definitely do it because I love building relationships. And my goal, my personal goal, is once I get everything situated with my identification to my passport, so I can go visit all these places, England, France. I had a dream I was in England the other day, so I know what's coming. Things are definitely moving along, by the way. With that, it's just some complications. But once I get that situated, oh man, it's going to be fun. Hopefully I can just, like I said, build up enough relationships to when I do visit these places, maybe I can link up with some people, you know, and they can really show me the ropes. But with that being said, that was an amazing video. Food looks delicious. Me, I would, like I said, go with the steak and fries, and I would definitely try that dessert with those strawberries. But man, that one, I forgot what it was what he ate, and it was like really crunchy, but I'm sure it was delicious. But I'll be back with more soon. Original link in the description. And much love to you all.